Welcome to John's Family Podcast for this week, and how you doing, everyone? I hope your week has been good. I'll let you know, on the audio, there'll be no difference. You're going to get Jack John's glorious voice coming through. But as far as visuals concerned, he's going to work on the engineering at the moment, just tickling the ivories, looking after the sound, looking after the clips and whatnot. What's it called, Jack? Time coding? What is it?
Time stamping.
Time stamping.
Do you want to? Yeah. Why are you over there, Jack? letting people know, because we don't want to lie to the listeners. This is a re-record. You might remember a couple of years ago, there was an incident on the podcast where there was a storm out and we had to re-record without a family member. Yeah. Similar things probably happened this week as well. Yeah. Without obviously. Throwing people under the bus and
my God! Let's just address this too while we're in the middle of this. Every podcast that's been recorded this year on the hour, it's just clicked over 2 o'clock
Dad's
right
watch.
now. Dad's watch.
I know. It just goes click, click. It's just letting.
I didn't hear it.
It goes beep, beep. It's always on. Look, it is annoying. Maybe that contributed to the walkout yesterday potentially.
Who did the walkout again? Who had the blow up?
Oh, I don't want to throw stones, but it could be the bloke who's not on camera at the moment, Jack Johns.
It was an end of podcast blow up.
It was. But in saying that, when we say end of podcast blow up, it was during the podcast meltdown, and he just sat there and just didn't say a word.
It was frightening, actually.
It was like at any point he could have just flipped,
exploded.
Yeah, like through. He just sat there and just looked at the ground. And at one point, Dad blatantly asked him a question, and he just stared through Dad. And then after 20 seconds of thinking about the question, he asked what the question was again.
Yeah, he said, "I haven't even been listening." You know, someone's got the shits from the family when they have their dinner in their bed. Yeah. Like he took it downstairs last night. Anywho, listen,
well,
guys.
that's what families do.
That's what they do,
Families
apparently.
fight, families make up.
And other families do other things. Shout out to the Malats. Now, guys, if you were what's the matter, Trish?
What do you not like? Do you think Trish does that often?
I didn't like the Malat reference.
Oh, it's all right, guys. Guys, here's something. Let's go back to this a little bit.
I'm hoping our listeners are normal people.
Yeah. Oh.
Probably
very offensive, Trish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of what we said, I think what you said is far more offensive.
Well, that depends upon your interpretation.
It's like the grill team. We wore it as a badge of honour when we found out that Ivan Milat and all the people at maximum security prison at Goulburn used to listen to the show.
No, not Ivan Milat, because he found you guys offensive.
Yes, but he was forced to listen to it, and he hated the show.
Exactly. Do you think that they made their inmates listen out of torture? You guys were so bad?
It got requested.
Oh, it actually did.
The worst of the worst was in that Supermax prison, and they requested the grill team. I took that as a badge of honour. We are the voices of rehabilitation.
Oh wow! Well,
even though a lot of them face the chair.
That's it. I tell you what, it'd be torture now for those inmates at Goulburn having to put on Triple M. Oh God! Talk about torture, poor blokes. Oh, blokes in there doing life. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh.
Hopefully they don't have Triple M in there now.
Yeah. Do you think you're allowed to listen to podcasts in chat?
Nah. Well, tell you what. I don't know if they'd pay for your Spotify subscription, Trish.
I don't know.
No, but there are some free platforms.
Yeah. I know Matt Moran. He's got a restaurant now in Cessnock Jail.
He's a celebrity chef?
Matt Moran. He's got his own little restaurant. Look at Trish, look at me. I can't believe you're nodding along.
Oh, you're joking?
You got all of us.
I don't know what happens in the big house.
Sometimes they do those like programs. You know, they do the programs for prisoners.
With chef.
Yeah, do a bit of work, or even seeing the LA fires. A lot of the firefighters were volunteer prisoners. And they pay them like $2 an hour.
Well, they're not volunteer prisoners.
Talk about it.
Well, yeah. Well, they volunteer to do it, and they don't get paid much, but it's getting out, and they help the community in some sort of way because there's a bit of controversy around it.
Yeah. Well, do you know in Japan?
Only if they escape.
When Japan, when COVID hit, and there was all these cruise liners coming in, the Yakuza put their hands up and said, "Don't worry, we'll go out and clean it all."
What do you mean they'll go and clean what?
Like the streets.
Went and cleaned the streets, and in COVID, no one knew exactly what it was and how it was passed on originally. When there were cruise ships coming in, into the harbour of Tokyo, and they got all that they would quarantine all the people in the hotels. Yeah. The Yakuza said, "We'll go on to the cruise ships and clean it." Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have?
They must have got some big bucks.
No, it's an old mafia tactic. You know when you see the mafia movies where at Thanksgiving they go around giving the community free turkeys.
Yeah.
Things like it's an
Goodwill.
old. Yeah, it's a
Do you have a contact at the Yakuza, Matthew?
Yakuza.
I just think there's some sort of ulterior motive there.
Of course there is.
They'll be smuggling or taping drugs to the bottom of the
Oh no, not
hull.
like that. It's just creating
something.
goodwill in the community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. Well, maybe don't kill people.
So
That
Matt
would
Moran,
also
shout out to Matt
create
Moran, who's opened a
goodwill.
restaurant in Cessnock Jail. So
That
by
is
the way.
perfect. Matt, are we doing? I believe
Yes.
you have something for,
The mouth
throwback.
to the hunter.
Yes, if you were, if each of us were a band, a rock band or just a band, right? Which would you be? Let's start with Trish, fellas. What sort of?
So we've all picked a band for each of the family
Yes, who
members. right?
we
Yeah,
think would suit.
Who am I?
You
I'll go
go.
first. I had Creed. For
Bugger
Trish
off.
because
I don't even know what their songs
She
are. I
actually
just know
looks
it's
like the
bad.
lead singer.
yeah, like looks like the lead singer has lived quite a hard life.
Yeah.
like they look their age. Creed.
I'll just throw another one up. I just thought of this. You know who Trish looks like?
Yeah.
I swear to God, Dave Gleason.
Oh, really? Yeah.
He does.
She does. All the
We went
leads.
to school together.
All,
Yeah.
the lead singer of The Cure.
The curly. That's just nasty. Jack.
You and Gleason are morphing into each other.
That is actually.
Is it because okay, no more curly hair for me.
That is
That's great.
so accurate. I'm writing this down. I think we clip that and we need to put a picture of side by side of Trish and
I
Gleason.
think so. I've gone look at a real turd of a group. Fortunately, I've gone the Spin Doctors, Trish, because you have got a funny slant on the truth, particularly when it involves you. So the Spin Doctors. Oh, little miss, can't be wrong.
Well, I went The Cure.
Yeah.
Do you know what? And I love their music. I'm happy with that. I don't want to
Yeah.
look
I
like
do like all these
Yeah.
things.
They look. They're quite funny. Have you seen that interview at the MTV Music Awards when they were getting nominated for something recent? Oh, it might have been the last few years.
Yeah.
And this reporter goes, "Oh my God, you must be so excited!" And he just turned to her and said, "Well, clearly not as excited as you."
that is something I might say. Yeah, and I do like their music. Not the more recent version of them, I might say.
No,
It's kind of quite bloated.
I love The Cure. I like The Cure. A
I
lot.
love The Cure
They're
too.
very good.
I'm happy with that. The others, I'm not happy with.
Do me?
Yeah,
Just
Coops.
do me?
I've gone the Backstreet Boys. Just like a greasy little loiterer. Just, yeah. You do remind... I think, Cooper, if you were a band, you would be in a boy band.
Someone said that.
Yeah.
Someone said that to me the other day. They were like, if boy bands were a thing, now you would have been really good for being in a boy band.
I agree.
Wow.
You actually look a little bit like Ronan Keating.
That's who I picked him for. What was his band?
Ronan Keating.
No,
but
Take
he
Five?
wasn't in.
Take that.
Take
No, he wasn't
No,
Take
he
That.
wasn't
He
Take
was
That.
Boyzone.
Boys.
He might have been Boyzone, yeah.
Yeah, you're Boys
Yeah.
and the little
I
Irish
love-
band.
He appeared in, you know that bit you two had the film clip, The Sweetest Thing.
Yeah.
He appears in that, by the way.
Cool.
Really good tone. there, Colin, too.
Funny you said that. I love Ronan Keating. Me,
Yeah.
like,
Do you really?
life
I
is a
think he
roll.
sounds like a nice dude.
Life is a roller coaster.
We had a
It's like-
trip recently to the Central Coast, and Cooper pretty much made a group of bikies at the bottom of this pub start singing it with him. He played it every second song.
Yeah.
Was Life is a Roller Coaster, and he just drilled it into him that hard that by the end of the day, after about 60 plays, he got him singing.
Yeah,
Really?
they gave the girls behind the bar. They were really nice because they kept playing Keno, and they gave me a Yui boom so I could play my own music.
Oh,
That
wow.
is really nice. You
Yeah,
don't see that
they were
happening very
lovely.
often.
Be honest, Coop, they said Cooper Johns from the Kyle and Jackie O show.
Yeah, they didn't
It
even know.
doesn't matter how
they,
you get it.
They didn't even know I played footy. I was
Well,
like,
easy to forget.
I was showing them my stats and shit, and they just weren't having a bar of
No,
it. So they
can't
gave me a Yui
imagine
boom.
them not being impressed.
And I would play. I started with Life is a Roller Coaster, and then I played like a couple other songs, and then like every third song, generally, I just go back to Life is a Roller Coaster.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone in the bar was like, "What?" Like for ages, they were so off us because we were like drunk and we were singing it. And then by the end, every person in the bar up on their feet singing it.
You've won him over.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Martha
That's
took his shirt
community.
off. Martha.
Yeah,
What
Jake
about,
Muffin.
what about you,
That
Jake?
always creates community.
For Cooper, I went with In Sync, but more specifically, I went for Justin Timberlake because
Yes.
Cooper's the type of dude that would be in a group,
Yeah.
and you just know eventually he's going solo.
Yes,
Well, I think we've
that's-
all confirmed he's a boy band type
Jack,
of guy.
that's perfect.
And leaving on really, really
Sour
like, shaky terms.
Righto,
Yeah.
what about Jack? Trish, who you
Oh,
got?
Trish didn't get to do mine.
Oh, sorry. No, she was
yes,
running
I
Keating.
did.
Oh, you did.
Running
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's
okay.
how we got to that topic,
Listen,
my
listen,
love.
mate.
What about Jack, Trish?
Jacko, I went Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, sweet. She just said that. She's just trying to be nice 'cause after I've had me blow up yesterday.
Yeah, but I like it. Well, you gave me a good one. I'm pretty happy with too.
I'll tell you what,
FYI.
Well, me and Cooper,
There's a couple for
me and
Jack.
Cooper spoken
this is-
about
this
Oh
is-
no, this will be good.
Jack before. I don't want to steal your thunder. You don't want
Yeah.
to steal my... Righto, I've got a band in mind. Have you got a band in mind?
Yeah, I've got mine written.
Right, let's do it.
We're going to say this on 3, 2, 1, and we'll say
Yep.
it. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
100%.
Yeah, Fred Durst down to a T.
Just really depressing.
Just wrong? Just wrong?
Just like really a song that a band you'd only listen to if you were thinking about ramming your car into a tree.
Oh.
What about...
Wow.
That's Jack.
So you're saying
Well,
it was start a riot?
Well, it was about an hour ago. Don't worry, I was thinking about ramming my car into a tree.
We got Big M.
Yeah.
Matthew.
Oh, yeah. God, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, of
yeah.
course, yes.
Who'd
I
you
went
go?
Ramones.
Oh,
Who?
you've picked
The Ramones.
Really?
You've picked
Which
like
one?
really
Well,
serious.
you like that.
I do like Dee Dee.
Yeah, and you just...
Joey
Yeah.
Ramone.
It's kind of like their music. No, it's more about their music than the band themselves.
You've just picked
Matt's a bit
artists that
excitable.
people like.
No. A lot of people would never know who the
No,
Ramones
I mean
are.
like Dad likes who that anyway.
Well,
I do
that
like
reminds
Ramones.
me of him.
Yeah, Four
Go on,
Before.
give your favourite little song.
Well, you put me on the spot.
It's like it.
Blitzkrieg Bop. Hey, ho.
Yeah, that's
Let's
good.
go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
ho.
See, that depicts you.
Does it?
Do you know what I mean? You're the
Thanks,
motivator. You're like, come on.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Kalisa.
Yeah.
I had the Village People for
Yeah.
Dad because if you look at Dad's life, particularly his media career, you dressed up as a flight steward,
Yes.
Reg Reagan, a man-child, a referee, a coach. Who else did I have? A wilderness explorer, Albie Sandals.
Yes.
You have created a multitude of personalities across different shows to not be yourself.
Oh, mate. And the Trump dance. Dude. Hasn't that become a big
Oh,
thing?
yeah, yeah,
The
when he got-
inauguration was...
Did you see the Village
Dancing to
People
the Village
at the
People.
inauguration? Like
Yeah.
they weren't. I don't think they were they the real Village People?
They
No,
weren't
no.
real.
The couple are. The lead singer is, the policeman.
Oh, they've done
Yeah,
the Queen.
yeah.
Have they tried to replace?
Someone
each
said
other?
that geez, they didn't look good. I'll tell you what, Billy Ray Cyrus looked like the Mona Lisa.
Really?
Mate, Billy
right.
Ray
He's having
Cyrus
some sort of crisis.
Looks like he's hit his emo phase later in life.
It looks like the Cure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does
Yes,
look
he
like
does.
He's got the Cyrus
A good
virus.
line.
Hey, maybe that's an idea for a new segment. What would someone look like if they were in a different band?
Oh, I don't know how that segment would play out. This is
We're
Excuse me,
audio.
Jack, can you do a walkout again, please?
hey,
Everyone play nice.
don't joke about that.
Okay. Well, right? Can I just do a shout out? Have we got everyone done, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Gary Johns.
Papa.
Gary Johns, my
Why?
grandfather. His birthday.
He had his
this week.
73rd
Had
birthday earlier in the week.
Some great memories over the years of Gaz,
Yeah.
which come to mind when I think of Gaz. One was on a Buck show where we got a call. Mum hadn't seen him for about a day. Got a call. Gary's in hospital. Turns out that Dad was nude in a car and fell out of a moving cart completely naked. When we got up to the hospital, the nurse was picking asphalt out of his ass
Like
with
gravel.
pincers.
Ouch.
Yes. And the other one where he did it second-degree burns on his ass doing a thing called the dance of the flaming arseholes, which they put
love
toilet roll around your waist.
A toilet
and you got
roll?
and they burn it and you got to run. You got to basically extend it.
What, on a piece of grass?
No,
on a piece of
roll.
sting?
On a
piece of
no,
sting.
it's all right. It's going to take a while to explain, Lisa. Don't worry about it.
Could you show me later?
Can I
Demonstrate.
Can I give you one? Like I've never told you guys about this. I remember being 4 years old, laying in bed, and hearing this boom. Fire brigade knocked our front door open, charged through the house. One of Dad's teammates, as payback, rang the fire brigade and said that, "Hurry, get to the house. There's the fire in the kitchen."
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was payback.
That's a pretty
Payback for what?
Because the old man, remember they used to have community notice boards at
Yeah.
Coles and that? The old man put on the community notice boards, purebred French poodles, free of sale, call them this number, and it was that bloke's number, and that bloke rang the fire brigade in retaliation.
That's good. I like that.
And you get into trouble for using the public services like that?
Not in the 70s, babe.
No, I don't. I remember talk about pranks like that at Melbourne Storm. Darren Schonig, who was a front row, played a little bit of first grade. Daz
Diesel.
Vin Diesel, he's called or Chin Diesel because he had a massive chin, a chin that Brent Tate would have been very happy, very proud of. And then Curtis Scott, they lived together for a brief period.
Jeez,
and
that would have been a house.
That would
oh
have
my
been-
god, horrendous! You wouldn't like if you walked in, you're dead set walk straight out.
We should
It's
take
just
it
a
to
smell that was in
Royal
it.
used to show the haunted house.
But they got on this prank war one time, and it got so bad. Like the sort of the thing that sort of started tipping over the edge was Dazza put Curtis Scott's number on this. How do I explain this in an appropriate way? Let's say it was a dating website, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
And made up a fake profile of his and put it on this dating website. And Curtis just started getting bombarded, like, with these text messages from various ages, genders, like the scale from like 18 to 76.
So it was basically open slather. I don't care who you are.
But it was like an extremely sexual website. So he was getting these like naked pictures.
Right.
Not like
from
Grindr or something.
No, but it was like all genders. Like
Yeah,
it was like everyone, and it was naked pictures from like 80-year-old guys and shit. And Curtis
Ew.
hated it.
Righto.
Sure.
Righto. Let's just do something here, right?
Yeah.
Let's agree.
Why are we whispering?
Let's agree to put someone we know put their profile on that side, and we'll just see the reaction they get. Let's just not talk about who
Yeah,
it is
but
now.
you know
but
what? They'll be
someone
paid that
outs-
because obviously this is
Well,
going
they won't
out
know
and
it.
people
Well, they
might
won't know
know.
it's out. Just to see the reaction. Talk about it next week. Content is king, as Cooper says.
Yeah, content is king. So
Still
is
a
Cash.
bellyache.
And then he wouldn't get. No one would text him about bellyache.
I don't think so.
No one would
Old
text him.
Beetlejuice.
Can I
Fix
also?
your teeth, Craig.
Can I ask for a bit of feedback from you guys? Talking about my week, I don't know if you've listened to the radio the last couple of weeks, but I've
No.
started doing sports news.
Yeah, we've been listening in, Coop. Really,
well-
really
Do you
impressive.
think are you a fan? Because they wanted, now Brooklyn usually does, he's the news reader, he usually does sports and news, but they said they wanted more credibility in sport. And somebody
That's
who
hilarious.
somebody who had their head screwed on, they know, and when they say something in the sporting world, people listen.
Yeah, right.
So they got me. Well, Bo Ryan had already signed with Triple M, so they couldn't get him. So then they fell to me. Have you listened? Do you think it's good?
Firstly, what does Brooklyn think? When they relieved him of those duties, was he relieved, or could you sense a little bit?
No, he's actually been very good. Taught me some nuances on always hook people at the start with, say the story is Matthew Johns urinates, like if you got caught urinating in public.
Yeah, which I've done
Which you
twice.
have. But I would jump in with, Matty Johns caught urinating in public.
Again.
And then, again, and then go into the story afterwards. Always hit him with the headline, like a newspaper, hook him in, and then go.
Called a hook and tease.
That's apparently, that's what people have been
Jamie
saying.
Angel.
No, you'd say Matthew Johns exposes himself.
Guys,
And then you go
guys,
back with,
guys.
oh, he was caught
I'm sensing
urinating
a
in
headline
public.
coming out of this.
No, but that would be misleading,
That
right?
would be. That'd be libel.
Defamation?
Yeah, defamation.
I'm
exactly.
thinking that's a decent little hook for us for podcast thumbnails. I think we actually make up a story and then come up with the best title for a hook.
Matt exposing himself.
Do we do this?
Well, usually for every episode, we take a quote from the episode and just put it as a headline. Maybe
There you
Matthew
go.
Johns exposes himself is the headline for this
Yeah.
episode.
And I would like that attached to me.
What? To the, not,
Hopefully not
Not the thing
literally.
I'm exposing. God, it's been a long time.
Do you want to know something?
She's not happy.
Not,
know
on,
how I
that,
took
not
Matt-
on that chin.
You know how I took Matt? What?
You know, when,
Sorry, Gleesa.
when you take yourself out of the things we say to each other sometimes and realise that we are a family, it is quite inappropriate.
Oh, you think?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what people like. I mean, that's
Oh, no.
what people
Do
used,
they?
Yeah, it's what people used to watch shows like Family Ties and Different Strokes. It's the little inappropriate things that
Yeah.
Maybe not that one. Let's just hit that. That'll be written down as an edit for Steve next week.
I don't know.
I think that's all right.
We'll get a discussion about that.
Fair.
Anybody else from their week?
Yeah.
Did you have
Well, boys, as you know, I took Matt to a health retreat. He's been a bit stressed
yeah.
and going into his busy season. I thought, this will be a good thing for him. I want him to learn to decompress, to breathe, to be calm.
Can I quickly jump in with something?
Yeah, sure you can.
Were you? Because I have found the last year that you have gotten more stressed as you've gotten older. Is that an age thing, or have you always been this stressed and you've just chosen to hide it from your children?
No, I don't know. Is
Yes,
it
you
name?
have.
Always been this stressed?
You've always been this stressed, yeah. He has this little thing, especially at the beginning of the year before all the shows begin. He gets himself into a state, and I have to remind him, Matt, you do this every year. You're fine. It's just the organisational aspect.
I think it's almost Pavlov's dogs. Do you boys remember?
What's
You-
Pavlov's dogs?
Pavlov's
I've never
dogs?
heard that before.
Oh,
Yeah, you
it's
do it too.
it's actually a psychological experiment that was done by Pavlov.
Yeah.
And what was it, Matt?
Every
He-
time, what he'd do before he'd feed his dogs, he'd ring a bell, and the dogs would start to salivate, and because they know they're going to be fed. It's how you teach a dog. So what happens is something happens. You've been conditioned to a certain thing. and then you always have that reaction. Now, that certain thing, before I used to play rugby league games, I'd get really moody and really agitated.
Yeah.
About 5 days before.
Yeah. But, I mean, did you blokes feel like that?
I was always pretty quiet. I think I was quiet leading in, but once I was in the sheds, I think I was all right. It was like the morning leading into a game, really quiet.
I used to get quite like the last couple years of my football. I became really like obsessive with my preparation, and like I'd get quite anxious, and then I'd have to like write heaps of things down, and like 3 days out from a game, like I'd have a real strict process of what I would do, which like I'd never had.
Than I thought.
I was pretty cruisy prior to that.
So what I find at the start of the year, once the shows get underway, once literally we do the first show, I'm as good as gold. For me, it's just lining everything up, getting new segments ready, just, organising certain things. That's the most stressful part. The stressful part of the stuff we do, I mean, even this sort of stuff, isn't doing it. It's the preparation.
Oh, yeah. No.
And so for the start of the year, that's getting all those things in
I am
place.
with you with that. Since like we started doing the podcast and I've started doing more media stuff, learning from I wouldn't say the best. I wouldn't say the best.
Don't talk about Kyle like that.
Like one of the best in yourself. I've definitely adopted some of your habits with the preparation stuff, and like my biggest fear.
And does it pay off?
Is coming into ask the listeners. I don't think that.
Well, he's doing the sport report.
Yeah, doing sports news, so clearly not. But my biggest fear is like going into something like unprepared and like making it like looking like a fool.
Oh, Curbs, you have to. If you've got to interview someone, okay, just say someone says you've got to interview a person, like say an actor, right? Doing Tom Cruise, Coop will knock it out about a 30-minute interview. If you plan for it to be 30 minutes, there's every chance you might run out of content at 15. If it's a 30-minute interview, plan for an hour.
I will say that what's hard about radio is sometimes you only get like 2 minutes because like you're going from segment to segment to segment, and it's like, righto. The other day, Harry Jousey came on, who's like, you guys wouldn't know him, but he's like a young sort of, I suppose he's like an influencer in LA. He's an Australian guy who went on Too Hot to Handle, which is like a reality show, and he's big in LA now. But he came on, and I knew nothing about him, and I had like 2 minutes, and they just handed me like a sheet of like some questions to fall back on, but I found that quite...
Do you know what happened once? And you don't know how long people talk for. Some people will talk, will answer in 5-6 words, not being rude, just so they are. Others will just ramble. We got second man ever to land on the moon, Buzz Aldrin. Like Trish, we got Buzz Aldrin.
What, you know him personally?
We got him on the Triple M show, and we rang him.
You had Buzz Aldrin on. You interviewed Buzz Aldrin.
Cool.
But
But it was over.
second. It was number
Second
two.
man.
Because Armstrong was
Neil
the
Armstrong
first
was one.
Neil
Buzz Aldrin
Armstrong.
was two.
So Neil went on like a different station.
Yeah. He was on College.
Are they still around?
But apparently Triple M can't get even Buzz Aldrin now.
They
Shout out
got-
to Woodsy and Bo. No, but
Sorry, Woodsy.
But Buzz Aldrin, I asked him one question. He spoke for like 7 minutes. So Pagey said, mate, let's do a bit of an experiment. He turned his volume down and said, right, everyone, we're going to take an experiment. We're actually going to go to a break, and we'll come back and see if he's still going.
Oh,
Yep.
still the same
He was just
rant.
Still,
he was still talking?
Was it interesting?
Not one, not one bit.
Clearly not.
Not one bit.
What was Buzz Aldrin talking about for 7 minutes? Surely it had to be the moon, because if it was anything else, you would have lost everyone.
Well,
Seriously,
that's
like, imagine if you was talking about
Gravity.
golf.
No,
Like
I'll tell you what he's talking about. Too hot to handle.
No, piss off. He was talking about Matt Moran.
You know what he was on? It was, talking about the
Being
moon.
in the
But
big
essentially he was on because he was selling one of those, those midnight, they go, it's
Yes.
the Chuck Norris abductor.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
doing a Buzz Aldrin thing, which was that cross trainer. And
Yeah.
I remember he going, it's just like walking on the moon.
Oh, really?
no.
That's actually a pretty good like slogan to try to sell that.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty handsome.
Yeah.
Sorry, Trish. Back to you and Byron. We went sidetracked for a
Yes,
bit
so I
there.
took Matt to a health retreat
Yeah.
for 3 days and 3 nights. He won't be going back again. The first day, he took contraband in first up.
Yeah.
Last time I lost 2 kilos. This time I put 2 kilos on him. It was all high protein bars and jerky and stuff
So
like that.
muscle.
But it's all processed. And the beauty of up there, it's not processed. It's all fresh food. So he ruined that for me. He made me skip my sound healing session because we were punting on the horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cracked a couple of more, by the way, too. Shout out to Nobby Holder.
He didn't partake in one activity.
Really?
Not a bit of yoga, nothing. Nothing.
Oh, you're not like really a yoga.
No.
Have
Don't
you
like
ever done
Well, you
yoga?
could do with a bit of stretching.
like
Yes,
ins.
you did. We did it with that lovely dude, remember?
Which one?
Who's since passed.
Yes, we did. We did. Yep.
And it was good. And you used to like that.
Damien Lovelock.
Yeah.
The great Damien Lovelock. We used to do it.
Yeah.
He was hilarious though.
Love
It was an interesting version of yoga.
I
A
actually-
more enjoyable version.
I went with you once, you and Joey, because did Joey direct us to
Yeah.
it? Did we
Yeah.
all go?
Yep.
What was his band name? The
Celibate Rifles.
Celibate Rifles, yeah.
And he
it
was,
was
a huge champion of Australian soccer.
It was a very interesting yoga session.
We got
lots,
there.
I really enjoyed it.
lots of testicles getting around.
Mate,
Oh.
He
Oh,
was.
really?
He used to.
Tied shorts.
He's a real character,
Sounds
and he
good.
used to have like a real cutting sense of humour. I remember once this woman come in. She'd probably be in her early 70s, and he walks in and she was chit chatting. He goes, "Oh, here she is, late again. Stop chatting and sit down, you old bag." Right?
How'd she take it?
She she went there for a reason, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's a bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went there. It just, I'm just.
But I have to admit, you've been calmer. You might not realise it, but you have been calmer.
I'll say this.
Well, for a few days you're
Trish
calmer.
said, "Will you go back?" And I said, "Look, I'd like the idea of going back, but I said, Trish, have a look around here. 95% of the people that go there are women, right? I felt like a rooster. I
Yeah.
know how roosters feel.
And we got attacked by midges.
Can I ask you, as an old school kind of man with an old school mentality, because I go to Pilates, right, every now and then when I get a chance because I'm quite busy, but I'm the only bloke in a Pilates class and it doesn't bother me. Did it bother you being like the only guy up at this health retreat?
Oh, he wasn't the only guy. There was a few.
No, there was only a couple, but no, I didn't mind it because sometimes the ladies would come up and a little bit of flirting and things like that.
Yeah.
A couple of ladies, yeah.
You have a
Just a few.
demographic. I see the data too, Colby. You've got a demographic of females between 65 and 78.
Yeah.
And you know what? You see it in public. They love you.
Well,
they love
they
Reg.
do.
well,
They
I'll
love Reg.
I'll just say this,
Yeah.
people. Many a tune's been played in an old fiddle,
Yeah.
as they say.
Well, it's the most experienced brain comes up with the best answers, I think.
Thanks, Coop.
Jeez, thanks.
Hey,
Sorry.
in saying that, can I kick off with
Clip that.
Can I kick off with my news segment, which is going to be my new pop culture news? So I'm going to be combating from this podcast Cooper's sporting news at Kiss FM, where I'm just going to tell some three big stories
Oh,
of
this will be good.
are coming across social media at the moment. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, no
Sure,
problem.
you can if you want.
We don't want a county. We don't want another walkout.
Well, yeah, it's a fair call.
Let him do whatever he wants, guys.
Christopher Walken, obviously Severance's season 2's out at the moment, and it's people are loving it at the moment. Christopher Walken has a big role.
Yeah.
He did in season 1. He's come out and said he's never emailed or whatever you call it, twittered. He only has satellite dishes in his home. That's the only technology he's got.
Christopher Walken
For
does.
TV. Yeah, cool.
And it's not tweeted anymore, it's called X. So what, are they X?
They
I
send him
respect that. I
send him
respect that.
DVDs to watch the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So he doesn't have Foxtel or anything?
Doesn't have
else,
Foxtel, no, nothing. I think he's got a couple old TVs.
Oh,
He's got
no,
his satellite
probably,
dishes.
He probably would have. Well, if satellite dish, you can still get.
Tell it, yeah.
Yeah,
You'd
the
wa-
TV
you watch
through
the old,
Foxtel and
the
stuff.
old satellite.
Well, it's
But,
interesting, Jack. The greatest NFL
But he'd be watching them before they're actually published.
Oh, yeah,
The greatest NFL commentator of all time, John Madden, who they named the game after, he was scared of flying. Never hopped in a plane, and so Fox Sports America had to buy him a massive Winnebago with all the equipment in.
Love
and he
that.
just drove all around the country, and he'd do his cuts and tapes while he was in the Winnebago. Drove from one side of the country to the other. At
John
times.
Madden, he's a coach, did you say?
He was,
He
great
was
iconic commentator and coach.
Yeah, The Simpsons had him on there all the time. The next thing I've got is Kanye's updated his bio on his Instagram. Coop, we know
Really?
we know that always clicks off.
Is that divorce still happening?
Who knows? Who cares? He's just commented 2.7 billion and counting. The only goat, the only king about himself.
About himself.
So there's been a lot of speculation about how much he's worth after the Yeezy deal went south with Adidas after some those comments he made a couple of years ago.
2.7 billion.
But he's now come out and tried to let people know that he's still worth 2.77 billion.
But does he have
on him.
2.7 billion?
Oh, I
Or
mean,
is he
who would know?
worth?
Is it
You know
liquid?
how people
is that
say
what you're
that?
saying? Is
Yeah.
it liquid? Who knows?
Who would know? Seriously,
You know, how
with
much
Kanye?
debt does he have up
It's
against
just
that?
a lot
This
of
is
these,
a lot of these people.
big celebrities. I read the other day, Mike Tyson, he's already spent the 21 million that he got from the fight
Yeah.
with Jake Paul.
But he bought a
US.
house. Bought a house. They went, he's blown the 21 million. He didn't blow the 21 million.
Oh.
He bought a house in
Yeah.
Florida.
Well, that's-
bought a house in Miami.
Well, that's a misleading headline.
It is a misleading.
Well, this is the thing with
day and
media
age.
these days.
Bloody media.
Anyone
Thanks,
can
Trish.
be a media source. You know what I mean? On
Look at Joe Rogan
Insta,
over there.
Facebook, and
Yeah.
Twitter, or whatever.
I'm with you,
and,
Trish.
Yeah.
Did you have
They
another
just
one?
throw out
And
a
the last
headline.
one here, it's a bit of a question for you as well to guess. On Monday, this artist became the first artist to reach 150 million monthly listeners on Spotify in the first ever time in Spotify's history. Who was it? Male artist.
150.
Million monthly listeners.
Oh, man. So
And he's an
must-
Aussie artist.
He is
No.
not. He
he's
is
just a male artist.
Your country?
I think American. Yes, American.
Country. And
but
country?
But he's he's got a
Teddy Swims.
no.
I love Teddy Swims.
Tom Dollar. No, it's let's say his last name might be a planet.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie Mercury?
No. Pluto's not a planet.
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Oh, well done,
Well
MJ.
done, Cobber. Little man, no little man.
Talking about Little Man. Jack, that's
he's-
an
he's a
excellent
good
segment,
dude.
by the way.
Yeah,
I like that.
can't
Well
wait.
done.
I can't wait
Excellent.
that to kick off.
Mate, well, that's going to be yours.
Well, that's yours.
It's going to take over rest of the week. There,
You're going to be this week
A lot of
in
the
the world.
starving people.
Can I just do one there, just to talk about little guys, just spark my memory? Heard a great story through the week about Danny DeVito, one of the biggest stars of the 80s.
Yeah.
They were asking him about the debauchery of the 80s in Hollywood, and he said, it was crazy, everything going on, including, he said, there was Bolivian amounts of cocaine. He said, every party I went to was cocaine. He said, I went to this party once, big Hollywood party, but then there was a VIP area, only for a few
A
people.
I believe that's called a VVIP.
VVIP. Sounds like a venereal disease. Anyway,
You know.
Don't scratch.
You would know.
I was going to say share that to someone, but no, it's too close to the bone. And he said he walked in there. As they walk in there, he said the 6 VVIPs, they had their names written in cocaine. And they went, Danny, there's yours. And they said, what was it like? And he said, I was super excited. Not as excited as the person next to me. I said, who was that? He said, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, really? What? So he's implying.
Saying the long
Allegedly.
surname, okay.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I didn't get that.
Shout out to twins.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
in the movie,
they
yeah.
were thick.
Wow.
Now what we're going to do is
They'll blow buddies.
film, vinyl, film. What's the music? What's the segment called?
Fame, film, and vinyl.
Sorry, I know. So, but what we're going to do is now. Dad chose Happy Gilmore 2 because it's coming out. So you chose the original Happy
It
Gilmore.
was,
is
a
correct?
it was a listener who said, "Get Happy Gilmore 2's coming out.
was.
We're going to talk about that, but the focus on Happy Gilmore."
But before we do that, Jack, I've given Jack the task. There's such a thing. Let me explain it to you guys. There's such a thing called a blind draft in the modern world now. So Jack's going to give 5 Adam Sandler movies, and we have to rank them what we think is best, or the best films he's done. But we don't know what's coming next. So Jack will give us one at a time, and once we lock it in at a position,
Okay.
it has to stay there.
Okay.
It
I'm
cannot
going to write
change.
these down.
So
Excellent.
I've just put down 5 random Adam Sandler movies, right?
I hope that they're the hits.
He's going to write it down, or he's going to have a
I'll
little
write
chat
it
about
down.
it.
I'm
Okay,
going to write,
Sweet.
yeah.
All right. First movie, The Wedding Singer.
Oh,
a
that's
good
number
one.
1 for me.
I'll say,
No,
I'll
can't
say
be
number
one.
2.
What do you
I
think?
like it.
Yeah, but we got to all lock in
I know.
together.
We gotta
lock
Oh,
in
I'm going to look it
together.
together.
We gotta lock it
Yeah, but
together.
I wanted this number
Look,
1.
I'm saying 2.
Yeah, I'll say 2 because I don't want to give one. It feels wrong to do one straight away. Because what if there's
Well,
a...
what are you going to put at number 1?
We can't-
Yeah, we
Ask
don't know.
you.
We're going to wait.
Yeah, but
So-
what if
so
he's
we
had some dogs?
Are we locking
We've
number
locked it
2?
in.
Yeah, let's do number 2.
All right.
For the record, it was
The
my
next,
number 1.
the next one,
One in all in.
51st Dates.
Oh, I like that.
5.
Oh, it's...
I'd say
I'm going to
4 or
say
5.
4.
Yeah, I'd happily go 4 as well.
because there
Yeah.
might be a blended or a Jack and Jill coming up.
Oh,
so
Oh,
yeah.
Jack and Jill.
Or Pixels. If Pixels is there, it's
No,
not
I
even on
didn't
the
even see
list.
that.
Little Nicky.
Oh my
That'd be a
God.
104.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What was
Okay.
that?
Gee, I hope there's some good ones come out.
The next one, Happy Gilmore.
1 for me.
Do you reckon one? He's had some really good movies though.
Well, does he have a golf one too? No, I always confuse that
That
one
is
with the
Happy-
Chevy
That's Happy
Chase.
That's
Gilmore.
Happy
No, I
Gilmore.
confused the Chevy Chase one.
No, that's
Um,
Yeah, I'd
Caddyshack.
say
Yeah, I'm going to give it
going
number
one,
1.
Yeah, Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore because it's got to be better than Wedding Singer.
All right. The 4th one I've got for you guys,
It's going to be a dog,
Is-
isn't it?
Don't Mess with the Zohan.
That's
Oh.
good.
I've never seen that.
You never seen it? Oh, Zohan is so funny. Oh, look, I think it's better than 51st Dates,
Well, then- then we have to go to
without,
3.
Without a doubt.
but we're then gambling. The last one, is it a Pixels? Is it like, or it could be
Okay,
the longest yard? or
My
something?
concern with the last one, it could be the Water Boy.
Oh, I actually like the
Or
water
Billy
boy.
Madison.
That's what I mean, or Billy Madison. I think we go that. I think we go that to 5.
I think we've
I think we go that to 5. I'm banking on. Or is it going to be Jack and Jill?
You know what? I reckon
think-
we go 5. I reckon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
5.
Okay. I'm happy
Uh-oh.
to do that. What was it, Zohan? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, the final one I've got for you guys,
Uh-oh.
Billy Madison.
Yeah,
Oh,
perfect.
okay,
Done
3.
it.
I'd
Number
happily
3.
take that as 3.
3.
Look, if I had to change one, probably 50 First Dates and Zohan.
Yeah, I think without
But
a doubt.
I think I'm pretty.
Okay,
that's
a
pretty good list.
good
Yeah.
blind list.
Can I read it out for you one more time? So at
on.
number 5, you've got Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Yeah.
Number 4, you've got 50 First Dates. 3 is Billy Madison.
Yeah.
2 is The Wedding Singer. And number 1 is Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good. Do you know, I went back and watched Happy Gilmore this week. I can't believe how young he was in it.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
pretty-
it was 25 years ago.
Wow.
Hey, a
he's
lot
really-
of girls, young girls now, like have been. It's doing the rounds on like social media and that they're putting together like, sort of like highlights of a young Adam Sandler and saying he's really hot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
was
a
cute.
lot of young girls
Yeah,
are
right.
loving him.
He used to do great Bruce Springsteen impersonation on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I
he
think
used
I've
to do
seen
very,
that
very
actually.
good. Yeah.
'Kay.
He's a very good musician, actually.
We
Yeah, he
used to
is.
do that a bit, didn't we? We used to go and watch some of the highlights of Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
and God, they were
That
funny.
was
and
funny
some of
back
those
then.
great, who then developed into amazing comedians and artists.
Turd of a show now.
Is that?
Yeah, it's gone
It's too
down.
woke.
It's too woke.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah. They don't want to
woke has no
Comedy
place
doesn't
in
work,
comedy.
yeah.
No, it does
You
not.
can't be funny and woke.
No, you can't.
And
Now-
the best
now-
dude that has dealt with that is my man from the UK.
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky
Afterlife,
Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
As he says, you can't go back
yeah.
and historically accuse someone of something
but
when
you know
it
what?
was the time.
You know why he can get away? Comedians who are already established before the woke world can get away with it.
Yeah.
It's very hard for a new comedian to break it, like to come in and make a real impact because they can't be like no one because they weren't there before the woke world. It's hard for them to be.
Well,
good.
actually, I've said that about Saturday Night Live being too woke. Well, Timothy
Chalamet. He's
Chalamet, which he's movie on Bob Dylan, which
Voice
I
doesn't
might think
Oh,
about going to see
yeah.
tonight. It's supposed to be very, very good. A complete unknown. He did a skit on Saturday Night Live that they reckon might cost him an Academy Award.
Timothy
he
Chalamet,
did a
really?
joke on the recently deceased Jimmy Carter, which they reckon even the crowd went, oh, it's caused.
I like
controversy.
Timothy Chalamet.
So do I.
So do I. I
him.
really
and if
like
you
him.
offend the audience, generally it's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
it means it's close to the bone. It says
You know
you at
what?
DCE's wedding.
Yeah.
Right, so Happy Gil...
Your hair
What?
it's looking thick and luxurious.
Is it really?
Yeah, don't you think, boys?
It's grown. Yeah, I reckon. Someone said that the other day. Well, our dear friends, the Baileys,
Yeah.
Nicole Bailey. Now, what was the stuff she got me?
She sent you the Aveda
It's a hair pack.
Invati.
Oh, like have you been using product in it?
no,
use
it's,
serum.
no. You wash it. You wash it with the shampoo, then conditioner, and put these other things in after it. I tell you what, maybe the hair's getting too thick.
I don't,
Aveda
I don't
Invati.
think you got to worry about it being too thick, Gobber.
Because I just went and got some more. Matt sent me a picture of it. He said, "Can you get me some more of this?" I was like, "Sure."
Yeah.
I will
The
say
whole little
I-
sequence
so
serum.
again, for people. 'cause-
Aveda Invati. I know because
Okay.
we have a
Excellent.
lot of people that the
Losing
hairs
it.
and it's about really massaging the scalp and it reduces hair breakage.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
part of it.
Thanks,
Wow.
thanks, Lisa.
Yeah.
Now,
Hey,
Happy
Chubby
Gilmore
Wackers
2
on me
is
mind.
coming out soon on
Yeah.
Netflix. Some cameos. Travis Kelce's going to be in it. Long John Daly, which
Yeah.
will be fantastic.
Yeah.
that's good.
Eminem. Okay, here's a question to you. I don't
Is
wanna ask-
Eminem in it? I saw.
No,
conflicting-
he's in it. He's
Definitely.
In it. No, he's
Okay.
in it. He's in it. I have concerns about this.
Why?
I think as far as film genres, I reckon comedies are just about have got the history of bad sequels. I reckon they're number one.
Yeah.
I'll cite a few examples. Caddyshack 2, horrendous.
Never seen it.
Gone from being could be the best sports comedy film of all time to a turd. Hangover 2. Now, they got back a little bit of Hangover 3, but Hangover 2 was
They were
shocking.
horrible.
I
I
liked
liked
it.
Hangover
I liked
2.
Bangkok. I thought it was very good.
No, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
You
You couldn't beat Vegas.
It's hard to pick one, but I think 2 and 3 still managed to do all right. Yeah.
Okay, Dumb and Dumber 2.
No, I
Awful.
You know what?
Oh,
I didn't hate it.
Look, I didn't hate it, but you know where their problems are? When they make a sequel that's like 20 years later, it's
Yeah.
a whole new world. You can't keep like the
Yeah.
first time done was so good. They had to really like the jokes were too like built for kids.
Well, this one was 30 years later I'm about to talk about, and it was shocking. It was Coming to America too.
I've
Eddie
never
Murphy.
seen
That it was.
Oh, I loved Coming to America.
Coming to America, fantastic movie.
With Eddie Murphy.
But this one
It's a funny man.
was so bad,
Okay.
it actually sent the actor, whose father was the director, who got his son to be the actor, and just almost sent him insane, made him quit acting for a fair bit, and actually sent him down the road of addiction from this movie.
Was it
Who?
Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf 2.
I thought it was going to
Oh
be.
yeah, what's his name?
Yeah, the actor who's in Horrible Bosses.
He does the
He's-
Smartless podcast.
He's
Jason Bateman.
Jason
Oh,
Bateman.
really?
His
He did have an addiction.
Yeah, his father did it and cast him as the star, like the Michael J. Fox that was in the first one. And it was so bad that it like sent him spiraling.
Was
He
that
quit
why,
acting for a
though?
long time.
Like, was that why?
Yeah, he
Really?
says it. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think I remember reading that too. It served as like it was a catalyst for him sort of spiraling out because I think it copped heaps of shit. Like, right, like the fans hated it because Teen Wolf was so big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the show? What was his? I've heard him talk about his comeback. It was a show. Was it Parks and Rec, or was it like one of those sorts of shows, or The
Yeah.
Community?
Yeah, he
Or
was in one of those.
One of those sorts of shows, and that was his
I
sort
think
of
he's
comeback.
a really good actor. I love him in Ozark.
Yeah, I really like
I
him.
can't imagine him having addiction and being off the
No.
rails because he's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Very, very nice
There's a
guy.
new
that
movie
sweet
he's
face.
in, Carry On, where it's like Taron Egerton as well. He plays
Oh, yeah.
Eggsy in
He's good.
Kingsman, and it's like about an airport. He's like like sort of a middleman for terrorists, where he like gets sort of terror jobs done for him. Jason Bateman's the villain,
Yeah.
and Taron Egerton is like the guy at the scanner at an
I
airport.
watched that when I was away.
It's very good.
It is very
if you haven't
good.
seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones that you're sitting on the edge of your seat and shit.
Yeah, it is good.
So Happy Gilmore, Roddo. Got a little trivia, Happy Gilmore. Kristen McDonald, who plays Shooter McGavin, he based the character Shooter McGavin off...
Do you want me to guess?
Yeah.
Greg Norman.
You got it.
Yeah.
Greg Norman, the Great White Shark.
Do you want to know how I know it?
How?
Because we got up to this point in the re-record.
Oh.
Till the walkout.
Yeah,
I
till the
know, but then-
walkout. So I remember
We've
that.
we've redone it though.
The character Shooter McGavin was first offered to... Guess what actor? It was first offered the role of Shooter McGavin and knocked it back.
Don't know.
Kevin Costner.
Yes, Kevin Costner.
Stop
Well
it.
done, you're amazing.
You're annoying.
Crazy. You're so good, dude.
Chubbs Peterson, a.k.a.
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Apollo Creed, wore what brand of clothes through the movie?
I've got this.
Lacoste.
Yeah,
With
Lacoste.
the alligator.
Yeah,
because the
because-
alligator ate his hand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly right. It's like we've heard this before.
No, I actually
it's-
did know that.
And
It's like there's an owl in here or an echo that continually echoes all the time.
Adam Sandler wrote the first draft to Happy Gilmore. It was so shocking that it wasn't going to give the go-ahead by the studios. So another, well-known producer did the rewrite. It's made. And guess which one it would have been? Have a guess.
Oh, we must have. Damn, we must have finished up just
Judd
before.
Apatow.
I don't even know who
Who's
that
that?
is.
Oh yeah, he does like a lot. Did he do like funny people and
Yeah.
movies like that? Yeah.
I
actually
didn't
like-
like funny people.
I liked Funny People.
Did you? I did
yeah,
not like it.
I liked it's very much that like depressing dark.
Yeah, I
humor.
Sort
don't
of
like
cerebral
He
humor.
did
Trish.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Forgetting
that
Sarah
right?
Marshall, Cooper.
Oh, I like Forgetting Sarah.
Oh, I
Marshall.
do
Just a
love
last
that.
question on Happy Gilmore. Who
Yeah.
wins the film, Happy Gilmore?
I think Ben Stiller's
I
character.
think Ben Stiller wins the whole
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Hal-El.
Yeah.
He's only,
He
but
plays a good bad guy.
I just
Yeah.
hope he doesn't ruin it in the sequel, going overkill or whatever, because he's just perfect enough.
I think it's Ben Stiller's greatest character ever. I would have loved to have seen a spin-off movie with Hal-El.
Well, he almost does as White Goodman in Dodgeball, is almost like a Hal-El type
yeah,
character.
he plays a good
That's
bad
his
dude.
best. When he plays
Oh.
a bad dude,
If you haven't seen it, listeners, you got to go and watch it because he's just this guy who works at a retirement home. He's just a genuinely bad dude.
He's
Very bad,
horrible.
dude. It's the first time we sort of saw
Yeah, was
Ben
it?
Stiller. Yeah, he was only a small actor. I've gone Shooter McGavin. I think Shooter McGavin wins the film.
He
I
made
think
well,
he's-
I
He
think
does do
he
well.
might have won the film, but he might have lost his career because no one really cast him in anything else after
After
that.
You know,
that.
he was in Grease 2 before that. You should go and have a look at Grease 2. It's weird watching Shooter McGavin playing a 16-year-old high school boy.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
of horrible sequels, that was
Yeah.
a bad
That's
one.
a bad. That was another two.
Yeah.
Rightio, Coops. What do you got for us, man?
Sorry, you know what I've got for you guys?
What?
Given I had a quiz, but I'm gonna do a slightly different quiz. Given me and Dad did the 3-2-1 earlier Limp Biscuit, I'm gonna do a similar thing. Let's call it a chemistry test. I believe that it's an actual game known as Wavelength. So I'm going to give you a category. So, for example, let's say bands, and then I'll give you guys a countdown: 3, 2, 1 point, and you guys all have to say a band at the same time. And
Yep.
if you
Just
all
any random band.
and if you all get the same, then you get a point.
That's
Yeah,
not
great.
gonna happen.
I love it.
But is there going to be
It's
a theme
wavelength.
to it?
Yeah, I'll give you a
Oh,
theme.
okay.
Yeah, Cooper. Is there going to be a theme to
Random.
it?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a category and then you got to say it. It won't be as broad as bands, obviously. That was
Okay.
it.
So you don't write it down, Trish. You got to say it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You say
okay.
it. I'll give you a
Jesus
countdown.
I'm a writer. Okay.
All right, listen to Cooper.
Okay. First category. Food cuisines. Okay. Can I start the countdown?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Italian.
Japanese.
Me and Trish got Italian.
Yay.
I'm going to give Trish and Jack.
Why would you
Why
guys
is
get
that-
Italian, huh?
Why wouldn't you say Italian?
Yeah. Cooper would have.
I reckon that was
People
yeah,
would've.
that was an easy one. There,
Jack and
Yeah.
Trish on the same wavelength. Okay.
Matt, obviously on the outer.
No. Okay. Next one. TV shows. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Simpsons.
Matty John show.
Sorry, Matt.
That was a good. You should have.
Yeah.
That's a gimme. I mean, is yours really a TV show? Because not. I mean, no. Sorry, that it is.
So it's called The Late Show and The Matty John Show, Sunday Night with Matty Johns. If it's got show at the end of it, pretty certain
But would
it's
you
a
call
show.
it?
Jack,
Would you
what
call
did
it
you
more
say?
of a talk show?
Entertainment show.
It's true.
I
What is
said,
it?
I said Seinfeld.
I said Simpsons because
Oh.
that's what I thought Jack would say.
Oh, well, pick for
Just
yourself.
think for yourself, mate. You've got your own brain, no matter how small it
The
is.
Simpsons. When was the last time I watched The Simpsons? What animation domination 8 a.m. on Saturday
but
mornings?
you know how you all have the quotes and all the characters still from the
Yeah,
Simpsons.
I get that. I get where your head went. Yeah, sure. Okay, next category: American sport.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
NFL.
Yes,
Yes.
correct. That's a good
That
one.
was an easy one.
Well, there's 3.
I mean, I was
Well,
going to
given
say
Super Bowl's around the
I was
corner.
going to say lacrosse, but
Yeah.
Lacoste. Okay, this is the last one.
Go.
All right, this one I think yours are actually a good chance. You might actually get this one. Australian celebrity. 3, 2, 1.
Hugh
Matty
Jackman.
Johns.
Did you say Matty Johns?
I said Hugh Jackman.
Oh, I mean,
He's an international
would
celebrity.
you count yourself as a celebrity, Dad?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I mean, if it's
No,
E
it's true.
grade.
That is true. Yeah, no, that's true. You probably do sit down there. I would see you probably more as a Australian icon.
Oh.
As
I'll
opposed-
I'll
Which
accept
would you
that.
prefer?
Yeah, I like the sound of icon.
Can you stop pissing on his leg or what?
No, but like I would
Pissing on his leg,
say,
he's not a dog.
I would say,
just direct a little higher in my chest,
if
please.
somebody said Paul Hogan, I wouldn't see him as a celebrity. I would see him as an Aussie
An
icon.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin. I don't see him as a
Bert
celebrity.
Newton?
Icon.
Bert Newton,
Yeah.
icon, yeah, past, of course, now.
Yeah, of course.
Rest in peace, old
That was just food for thought. Anyway,
Now, guys, I've got a little recommendation for you. I dragged Matt off to
health retreat.
virtual reality thing out at Homebush.
Awesome.
The something of Khufu, which is the Egyptian pyramids. It was awesome. It was recommended to us.
Yep.
Got the tickets. It is like you're standing out the front of the pyramids. Then you go into the pyramids. You're actually floating on rocks above the city of Cairo, standing above the tombs. It's amazing.
Are there any secrets or things that alluded that maybe aliens built them?
No, it doesn't do that, but
Not
it takes
even a
you.
little
It
bit.
actually takes you inside the pyramids of how it looks on the inside. The thing I love most, you're standing at the base of the pyramids, looking up.
It's
You're
incredible.
looking at the desert all around. But the thing I love, Trish, is when you're up on the pyramids, and it's exactly the view it would be, and you're
Of
looking over the
Cairo.
city of Cairo.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
amazing.
desperate to get
it's
there.
at Sydney Olympic Park, people, honestly. And if you've got kids in particular, it's just a great history lesson
It
as
is.
well.
It's quite amazing.
Yeah.
And I've never had any experience with virtual reality before.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
Well, some of us actually did Asian history in high school, Trish. So we studied it, me and the 5 other kids in my class with Mr. Hull. And you know what? I don't need virtual reality.
You know what,
right?
guys? You guys are talking
Oh.
too much. I'm going to walk out of here.
Goodbye.
Well done. Are we actually ending it? Do you want me
No.
to finish it?
Oh, I've got a little shout out before we finish up. Deb, loyal listener, just had the final of her surgeries. Get well and back on your feet, dancing to Bette Midler. Deb,
Camera's on me, Trish. It's stuck there. Sorry.
Is it actually on you? Yeah. Brilliant.
it's okay.
And just before we go, just to some of our listeners who are loyal listeners, Backstage on Monday, which is released, Laurie, Daley, New South Wales Origin coach. So if you're interested in State of Oregon and you want to listen to it on Monday. Thanks, guys.